The definition of insanity is doing the same thing twice and expecting different results.
Does that work when no one knows that we did it at all the first time?
You know what? I think we're good.
All right, then let's fucking go.
Hello and welcome to the Millennial Film Experience. I am your host, Sergio Berrueta.
I am Patrick Raissi.
And yeah, welcome to our podcast where we take a nice millennial look at new and classic cinema with different themes every month, evoking, the beauty of that cinema has to offer. This go around,
This is our inaugural episode, so this is not really it's not really a go around.
Yeah,
it's a first attempt.
You can't really have a go around if you haven't gotten there yet. So for the first 2 months, since we are doing a bi-weekly podcast, we are going to be taking a look at summer blockbusters or films tangentially related to summer blockbusters or summer films that are coming out. And we're kicking things off with a doozy of a one. Supergirl from 1984, directed by Jeanette Zouak.
French director, yeah. Directed Jaws 2.
Oh, which I've not seen yet.
You know what? I don't remember. I only know is they elected that mayor another year in a row.
But before we get into it, let's introduce ourselves a little bit. So, as I said up top, I am Sergio Berrueta. I am a Chicano journalist based out of beautiful Southeast Los Angeles, Bell Gardens if you want to be more specific, and have worked in broadcast news for the past 3 years and currently working in public media as an on-call producer at beautiful LAist.
My name is Patrick Raissi. I am also from Bell Gardens, but currently living in the LBC. Wannabe film dude, working full-time. Trying to make ends meet, but I got opinions, and you're going to be forced to listen to them.
That he does. And you're forced to listen to both of our opinions, which is either really great or awful. But yeah, let's get things started. There's a new Supergirl movie coming out. By the time you hear this, it will have been out for, I bet, like 2 weeks at this point. And we have not seen it yet because we're somewhere else in time. We are in our own Phantom Zone.
We are a Schrodinger's cat of film experience. We have neither watched nor not watched a movie yet.
By the time you hear this, we will have watched it. And maybe we'll share some thoughts then, but you'll hear those in the future. But for now, we are focusing on the beautiful, the wonderful Supergirl from 1984, which is a known box office bomb, underperformed at the box office, only grossed about $14 million against its budget of $35 million. But yeah, we are going to go through the movie, recap it for you, and for those who have seen the movie before, you're going to have a great time. And for those who haven't seen the movie, well, I'm glad you're listening to this because there's spoilers ahead, but it's okay. This movie came out in 1984. You had time. It's all right.
So my question is this. It's obviously Superman 1 and 2 are seminal classics. The Richard Donner cut has its own kind of mythology, its own kind of lore in the film space, directed by Richard Donner, obviously. Superman 3, not great. We'll get to that later. When does Superman 4 Quest for Peace come out?
That is 1987.
So, okay, 3 years. So this wasn't the nail in the coffin, but this was definitely a sign of where it was going to head.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I just want to get. I just want to get that perspective out before we get into this.
This movie kicks off in, honestly, the most bisexual way I've ever seen a movie kick off. Sick-ass bisexual lighting for the credit sequence.
Listen, I never watched this movie before. I've heard the stories about it being really bad. Off the bat, I was like, oh, they put, because knowing that, I didn't think there would be money in the title crawl, which if you've seen the original Donner cut and the original, what's the director for the second one?
That's Richard Lester.
They have these like really cool, like futuristic title sequences of like the names flying at you and stuff like that. And they were kind of the cutting edge of effects at the time. And I didn't expect this to match that, to be honest. I was like, oh, hello.
It's all like these like letters that are like glass cut, just like flying at you through the fog, through this neon hellscape that's coming at.
Right, and it's still evocative of the original first two movies, but the font is obviously like just different enough to set it apart from its cousin. So I was surprised by that. I feel like there was more spinning. Was there more spinning?
There was a lot more spinning.
There was a lot more spinning of titles in this one. Okay,
Yeah.
the other one has like, the swooping fly away. This one has some swoop-ins and then a lot of spinning around, spinning out of frame.
Yeah, and I can't lie to you. If you're photosensitive, this might not be the intro for you.
Oh no, this is definitely like this is harkening back to 60s psychedelia of like flashing light. At least for the first, let's say the first act of the movie. And then we go to Earth, and then it's whatever it is.
And it's like accompanied by this like Jerry Goldsmith score, which Jerry Goldsmith is one of my favorite composers. But I was like not expecting him to score this movie.
Listen, the production of this movie is gonna surprise you. It's a 1-2 knockout of like, what the fuck where did all these come? What are this? Is that money behind it? I thought this was holy crap.
And then once that title sequence is over, we zoom into the beautiful, the wonderful Argo City. So you know comic books. City?
Yeah. Supergirl. Okay, let's preface this way for our comic fans, because if there are any that will listen, Supergirl has a myriad of origins that are retold in various different ways, and sometimes Supergirl isn't Supergirl, and sometimes she is Supergirl, but she's a different alternate version of a Supergirl. Sometimes she's from Argo City, sometimes she's from the city of Kandor, which is also the bottled city.
That's the one I'm familiar with.
Right, I think the Kandor one is like kind of a slightly modern version of that. That's why she usually has beef with Brainiac in the comics. This one, I think they're going with the classic Argo City thing.
So we get to it. Argo City survived the destruction of Krypton, apparently from what we've heard, and we are greeted to, is that Peter O'Toole?
In their credit sequence is just giant letters. He's the first credit. It's Peter O'Toole. And you're like, what the fuck?
Peter O'Toole being in this movie, I had heard he was in this movie, but I guess I like memory hold it, because as it started, I was like, wait, what are you doing here? And he's Zoltar. He's
the architect of the world. He has a magic wizard wand. He's a very hippy dippy kind of person. He's like, yes, I make things, but they're not real, Kara. They're not things full of life. Like trees. Do you know what trees are, Kara? She goes, what's a tree? They have them all over Earth. Where your cousin's at? Can I just step into my first issue?
Yes.
They never say that they're in Argo City. They don't explain how they survived Krypton's explosion.
No, they don't. I remember sitting there and like, it's only mentioned, Argo City is like mentioned a few times here and there.
She says she's from Argo City. That's what she says.
And that's like it. And
yeah, no explanation of how they escaped, where they are at, how they're surviving. So just they know, and the whole movie they're gonna just have that back, put that in your back pocket.
Yeah, because it doesn't even explain like if it's like a pocket dimension or anything, or if it's like
one can assume obvious.
It's on an asteroid.
It is on an asteroid. There is no kryptonite really in the movie, so Kara doesn't really deal with that old trope of the Superman family. Just Argo City is just in this nebulous world in the space, and they survive off a thingamajig that Peter O'Toole stole.
The Omega Hedron.
Your thingamabob, your MacGuffin for the movie, your literal 20. MacGuffin. It is literal. This is the thing that we're doing the whole plot for.
And the way that goes, we'll get to it in a bit. But Matt, no, I was not expecting.
Yeah. So we'll go back on. So Peter O'Toole is our hippie architect man. He's our magic man. He's the wise wizard Zoltar. No explanation for any of that at all. But I will say that the set design is reminiscent of parts of the Krypton we saw. Not necessarily all of it. Like Richard Donner's Krypton is a lot more sterile, a lot more not cellophane, but like aluminum foil based with the cool like reflective lights and stuff like. But this does feel like Krypton's like hippy dippy like Austin, Texas cousin. Keep fucking Argo City weird, really.
South by Southwest gets there every year. It's a great time.
The scene, it's not really as weird as they used to be, but they just keep it up for marketing. Like,
We used to do music, but we do film now. Have you ever seen the new Kryptonian film? He's hanging out with Kara, played by Helen Slater.
That's our Supergirl, Kara, yeah.
Who, honestly, I thought was the best part of this movie.
I think she does kind of keep the mantle of the Superman family, of like person just doing good type thing. I do have some notes later on, but yeah, I think what we're given with as a script and a production, I think she does as well as she can. And then this is like her first like big movie.
Then the plot just says, hey, let's just start getting things cooking now. Kara uses the omegahedron at one point, and then she makes like this giant mosquito.
She makes like a dragonfly.
Oh, dragonfly, mind you, yeah. And then it just like
flies
rockets out.
And it flies out of their just regular plexiglass dome that is keeping the entire city safe. It's just one errant baseball flew through that thing and you were fucked.
Like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, I watched it and it like broke through, and I wrote in my notes, I was like, is this place covered in saran wrap? Why is it like
I did forget to mention. So Zoltar's explaining what he does with this little wand, and that the omegahedron helps him enhance the power of his wand to do more things. That's kind of the vague idea of what it enhances things. And he's like, okay, Kara, you shouldn't fuck with that. I technically stole this from the government that resides here. I'm gonna go put it back because your fucking mom and dad, your mom played by Mia Farrow, snitched on me, and your dad is some fucking dude. I don't know who it is. I'm so apologies to that man. But as he's explaining that to Mia Farrow's character, Kara's like, she's kind of childlike. She goes, ha ha. And then the fucking dragonfly flies out, the omegahedron with it, and then her, and
it was funny too, because the mom and her dad Zor-El, they're like talking to Zoltar, like, oh, you know, Kara's doing well, and you know, you're
training her,
training her, it's going good. That happens, and Zoltar's like, you know, stole that. That's my bad. And I know I'm going to the Phantom Zone, but at this point, just do it.
So here's how I could fix it. I could definitely do it. I'm the smartest. I'm the one who could. I know the thing about everything. And Kara's like, what if I, an empty vessel of a brain, go into the pod that you just pointed at and fuck off to Earth?
It was an immediate like, here's the pod. Oh, now you're taking it. Oh, you just know how to use it.
Yeah, he was like, Zoltar was like, oh. He was like, I was gonna go. Oh, god damn. Kara didn't even say anything. She is a little too childlike in the movie for me, and it does kind of bother me. And we'll talk about why that bothers me later on. But very childlike, grown woman, childlike though, gets in the pod, flies out. Right after it flies out, Zoltar's like, well, I'm going to hell. He says, I shall go to the Phantom Zone, where I shall endure never-ending pain. I was like, oh, okay.
And it was funny too, because like after he said that and he left the film, and I just remember writing down, I was like, it's like he's looking at a paycheck being waved off screen and he's just gonna go get it. I didn't know he was gonna come back during the third act, so I was like, oh, he's done. This is it.
Thought they were going to do the Marlon Brando where it's like a projection of him or something. I didn't expect him to come back either later on in the end.
No.
Also, the fact that Kara doesn't really explain what's going on. And then she herself, I think they say, well, anyone else, if they go, they wouldn't know how to get back. So Kara just goes in the pod, and then her mom and dad were like, well, if no one gets it back, we're all going to die. So my head, as Kara's leaving, I was like, did she just fucking doom everybody in this planet?
Pretty much.
In this city?
And that's also the last time we see Mia Farrow in this. She's like, goodbye.
We're a few years removed from Rosemary's Baby. She's still like an established star. So for her to have such a small part is kind of like funny. It's like you just added Zendaya to be like, and then that's my beautiful sister.
Kara lands on Earth, but the omegahedron falls into the hands of Selina, played by the legendary Faye Dunaway.
Yeah, and next to her boyfriend, question mark? Nigel, the man with the most British teeth.
Know who that is?
No.
The priest from The Princess Bride. He goes,
oh, he's the priest.
Marriage.
Oh my god, I'm putting the face to it.
She gets hit, but they've just had a conversation about like wanting to take over the world.
So laying it out, Selina is a witch, but she's not a good witch. But Nigel is a warlock who has had more success, I guess. And he's like, come with me and I'll show you the world, and I'll grant you all, like, I'll teach you all these things that I know, and you'll get as much power as I will eventually. And she is very much like, yes, this world would be nice. I would love to take it over someday.
And he's like, whoa, slow your roll. You're at the final step. We're barely at step 1. I haven't even like shown you how to use a cauldron yet.
Fucking falls right literally into her hands. They just take it. And it's just like, a MacGuffin.
And it's also like kind of funny at that point, because like that's around where he's like, well, I know you just want power and stuff. Here's what it would be. And it's like, here's this kaiju monster. I don't know what this is yet, but it's a kaiju monster. I love the fact that she takes it so she could use it for magic. I don't know where it's going
also, technically, that would mean magic is a real thing in the world of Superman, which in the comics is a real thing. It's just how much they throw it in your lap. Like, by the way,
magic exists in this world. You already got used to the sci-fi aspect and the alien aspect. What if we just said magic.
That is a very comic book way of doing things. Of like, that exists. You're like, well, okay, I guess I'll just deal with it. I don't know if you caught it, but as she's driving away, leaving Nigel in the dust, the radio explains why Superman won't be appearing in the movie. He's off in another galaxy on a peacekeeping mission. No further explanation, but he's not going to be here.
Christopher Reeve was like, "Oh, I'm good, thank you."
He apparently he was going to show up, and I think he took a look at the script, and then he was like, nah. But the script would have been way different with him in it, apparently.
Yeah, oh, I read that. Yeah, it was going to be about Supergirl saving Superman.
Yeah, like I think he would have been the Zoltar figure, oddly enough, or something like that.
Okay, see, that's a lot of sense when you put it like that. I read that, I'm like, okay, yeah, no, I'd be game for that, but also...
Yeah, and he was just like, I don't want to commit to this right now, and I'm going to go make the worst one later on. No, wait, no, he had already made the worst one. He was like,
I'll do the second worst one.
I'll fight the guy with the press-on nails in the next one.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Just as long as it's not done by like the canon group. We should be chill. Oh, what's that? One of the things I liked is like after... I actually like this because keeping with a comic book thing and just... If I was a witch, I too am living in a amusement park funhouse.
She really did, yeah. She was living in a Hollywood Horror Nights. She was in the back room. She's, you know, where the dudes in the black robes with the flashlights are waving. She lives behind that. She's the one behind those curtains. She auditioned at Universal and she got the gig.
She got the gig. She's like, you know what? What if, get this, guys, I buy the property, keep it rent controlled.
I know they're building it. I'll just take the spot where Fear the Walking Dead was. I'll take the spot where the Walking Dead maze was.
No one's even gonna notice. It's gone. I'll just be right there. Me and my beautiful, sassy assistant, Bianca, are gonna
We'll just
hang
touch
out.
lips once in a while and cast spells. We'll live our sapphic fantasies. There's a level of suspension of disbelief I'm very willing to follow, especially when it comes to comic book movies. If you just give me the slightest crumb, I'll take it and I'll be fine with it. There's the lack of that here that kind of gets my goat. And it doesn't make the movie bad. It just, I have to shut a part of my brain down that's a little more rational and usually asks a little more from my movies, especially my comic book movies.
I grew up on watching like Justice League Unlimited and like the DCAU, and you get used to it. Yeah, magic just exists in these worlds and stuff. But if you put it in and it just comes out of nowhere, you're kind of like, oh.
They would set up enough rules, like enough structure for you to be like, oh, that's how this works in this world. And here's enough crumbs so you can digest this bit of lore going on right now, and maybe we'll fill up some more later on. Supergirl in her pod just emerging in the costume. I was like, why? I was writing a note, so I looked up and she was already in costume. I was like, did I fucking miss something? Which happened to me a lot in this. So I was like, I would write a note and I would look up and something completely different would be happening. I'd be like, what, did I miss something? Like the Argo thing, I restarted the movie and went 10 minutes in. I was like, oh, they don't explain what the fuck is going on.
Do you think she like doubled back? She like was going through the title credits of Superman because it was the exact same B-roll that they used. Do you think she was like, oh shit, actually, I should have packed before I left, and doubles back too to go get it? Don't mind me. I'm still gonna find the Omega Hedron. I just need to pick up some things. I forgot my Supergirl suit. I forgot my deodorant. We don't really sweat much, but you never know.
I will say though, the costume, like there is this argument now of superhero costumes looking too over designed, which I agree to some extent. I think the Snyder one is a little too over designed, but this one and Christopher Reeves just look cool. There's just enough to survive the campiness of it, and there's enough camp that it's enjoyable for kids.
I love the suit too. I think it's really like cool. It carries the same weight. It kind of, and also the new Supergirl outfit I really love too.
I think those are really good because I think they follow the same thought process of their cousin costume, because Kara's has so much in common with Clark's Superman costume. They have that kind of the padding in certain areas where they're gonna like still deal with the most impact and stuff. That's for the James Gunn and the Craig Gillespie's Supergirl. But this one, because it's like so simple, it's almost like for this one, it's almost ripped from the comic pages itself. It's just simple enough and it worked. And I think it's a good design. I give me a little crumb, just a little line of why. That's all I need. I just need to know just a little crumb of knowledge.
A crumb of
just a bit to fill me up a bit so I can kind of just digest the rest of this weirdness going on. Like when she's discovering her powers, it's a beautiful scene.
I loved it.
It's almost like a ballerina thing. Like she's like spinning around, she's doing pirouettes. She brings a plant to life, a flower to life by doing the heat ray, which yeah, no, sure, I guess. But it's really fun watching her like bounce, like just like literally like defy gravity. Cuts a Wicked just like jumping off.
And there'll be a sequel that doesn't expand on crap from the first act.
It's actually the weaker half of a good Broadway play.
But no, that sequence was really cool too, because I was just impressed. I was like, even me watching it now in 2026, going like, I think I know how you did this, but also I kind of don't want to ruin the magic for me because this is really impressive. And to do it in broad daylight too.
That's what I was thinking.
Super
I don't
impressive.
think like you see some strings if you really go looking for it, but I think overall it looks really good. Like, and like you said, for daylight, like that's such a hard thing to hide. I think they did really well for that.
Could you imagine being like a person just fishing at that pond though, and you're just seeing some random alien woman doing pirouettes?
Just feel like, what the fuck did they put in the fish?
Is this good to eat? Am I screwed? Is there like a 3 Mile Island situation I didn't know about?
Right. Going back to it, like as she's learning her powers, they do this which they kind of do with like more recent Superman movies, is the joy of flight that the Kryptonians tend to have. I think production wise, I think this was definitely like the evolution of from Donner's version to now. I think they both, like, you can see the straight line of evolution of like, this looks better now because they thought about it and how it looks. Yeah, clearly sometimes she's like, it's the same technique, but it's advanced enough. Like you said, I think a lot of the shots are still the same backdrop shots though, right?
Yeah, well, for this one, what they did is it's alluded to the fact where she is. She landed in Illinois.
Right.
So she flies through the Family Matters intro and then goes to Chicago and comes across those like 2 thugs in the middle of nowhere, the truckers.
I wrote down, oh great, Supergirl's first interaction with humanity, and it's a pair of white trash rapists.
Yes, it just made, my skin crawl a bit. But the worst part of it also was like, these guys are losers. They're going to do bad things. That A&W shirt is pretty sick though.
Was it the one that Matt Frewer was wearing?
Was that Matt Frewer?
Matt Frewer was the scrawny guy. Max Headroom for all you Gen X and early millennials.
Yeah, he's also the neighbor in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
By the way, this is when she talks about being from Argo City.
Oh, okay, yes.
They're like, where are you from? She goes, I'm from Argo City. Like, such an innocent, childlike demeanor. I was like, oh god, they're gonna try. They're not gonna do it, but oh my god.
But she like nails them, and it's
the most
funny.
non-violent, violent takedown of these 2 pieces of shit. Like
getting kicked through like a wall into a construction site, and the other, I just remember the other guy looking like, I could still do something.
I was like, the second you lift a guy and you see her in the super costume, wouldn't you be like, oh, I guess she is fucking Superman's cousin. Why the fuck did I try?
You know what, ma'am? I'm a dumbass. I'm gonna leave and lead you to it.
After Kara takes down those pieces of shit, and then she kind of just like flies off, we cut back to Selina like starting to celebrate her power by having her cronies, coven people at her
admirers and well wishes.
There's a lady on a miniature choo-choo train.
Pretty sick.
Nigel has finally walked back from being dumped at the park or whatever, and he's like, he kind of starts seeing the power that she has, and he's not impressed. And I wrote down, what life have you lived, Nigel? He's like, I've seen stronger.
That was one like thing I wish the movie showed more. Like, okay, you're saying Nigel is like all powerful warlock and has done stuff, but you're not showing me it. I want to see him do like some like fuck shit. I want to see him take like a national landmark and destroy it.
Nigel is reading to me as like British occult villain from a Hammer movie, or Richard Donner's fucking Omen. Like, he's like reading like that type of like dark magic figure, but he's kind of just a loser like the whole time. It's him and his cadre of petty bitches.
You don't understand the power I hold.
Yeah.
Well, you haven't been able to back your shit up.
We come back to Kara. She's kind of like scoping out a school, like an all-girls school. And again, here's the lack of crumb is they do a cutaway shot of her landing, walking in her Supergirl outfit, passing by a tube, and then she's just in disguise. I'm telling you, blonde woman with Supergirl costume to like 16-year-old schoolgirl with like brunette curly hair.
A green and white outfit. And I'm just like, does she have that power? Can she just make stuff?
Can Clark do that? Like, I mean, technically he does. We see him like zip around, but like he doesn't like change his hair length or anything like that.
No.
Just like give me something to kind of work with. It doesn't have to be a full explanation.
As you describe it, the way it's shot, it's like she walks, passes through a tree, starts to begin the disguise, passes through another tree, full disguise. And she only does that because she saw them like playing sports and is like, oh, I'll just nestle in here. And wouldn't you know it, Nigel is the math teacher.
And he's getting bullied by the girls.
Getting dunked on, dude.
Yeah.
It's like a sub.
You're not a real teacher, so I don't care.
What are you going to do? Call my actual teacher and tell him what we were doing?
And then the next day, I am so disappointed in every one of you. We are having a quiz right now.
No! Damn you, Nigel.
Kara, in disguise, figures out to go to the dean of the school. And she's like, yeah, I go here. And he goes, you do? He gets distracted. She knows Superman's secret identity is Clark Kent, mild-mannered reporter of the Daily Bugle. No, wait, not Bugle. Daily Planet, sorry. Writes a recommendation letter on his behalf, or from his behalf. So she forges her own papers, and she goes, here, my award-winning, Pulitzer Prize-winning cousin
is vouching for me.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, I didn't see this paper. Oh, yeah, you're in.
My name is Linda Lee, but... isn't he Clark? We're cousins. They love bringing up the fact that they're cousins throughout this whole movie. I couldn't get through a scene without them saying, I'm Clark's cousin.
Oh yeah, I am Clark's cousin.
It was like being at a quince. You have to introduce yourself to like your whole family.
This is my cousin. This is my other cousin. This is my uncle's cousin, so we call him cousin.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we pass our second, technically, after you pointed out that A&W shirt, of the A&W root beer
vending machine. A thing that doesn't exist, and I want it to so
We're only
bad.
bringing this up because it's in such a prominent shot that you kind of start picking up things like that.
Yeah.
And we'll bring that up later on.
And we are introduced to her new roommate, because it's also a boarding school. Yes.
It's a boarding school, yeah.
And her new roommate is the definitely not gay Lucy Lane.
Really? Because I wrote, yes, Lois Lane's lesbian sister, Lucy, played by Maureen Teefy.
And she's introduced, and I was like, that... come on, guys. Nah, you can't do this.
Fan fictions have been written with less.
Oh, dude, yeah, no, you know, this would have killed on Tumblr in
100%.
if it was
the way that they looked at each other would have been a fan edit the second she walks in.
This definite fan cam right here. But then they go, oh, you know, my cousin's Lois Lane, and oh wait.
But then she says later on her sister. I thought it was her cousin.
My sister knows your cousin? Well, I'm also dating this really sweet guy. His name is Jimmy Olsen. And me, oh yeah, Mark McClure really cashing that paycheck. All right. We love to see it, guys.
He had a free week, you know.
He hadn't gotten the call for Back to the Future yet. So he was like, I'm good.
Who's he in Back to the Future?
Marty's brother.
Oh, shit, you're right. God damn, the clothes
gay.
Really do make the man.
Exactly.
Yeah, holy crap.
See, Jimmy Olsen would have been stuck working at Burger King.
And then this is kind of like, I didn't realize this character would be a main character. I thought he was a one-off joke. What is his name? Is it Neil? What the fuck is that guy's name? The love interest.
Oh, Ethan.
Ethan, thank you.
The
groundskeeper. The
yes.
definitely adult groundskeeper who saws through a giant tree with the tiniest toothpick straw you've ever seen.
I was with you too. I was like, I saw his name in the credits. I didn't think he was going to be that large of a role at all.
I thought he was a joke. Selina goes to the all-girls school for a reason. She has her friend driver there. They see Ethan, and then like the friend is like, oh, that's the guy I've been wanting to date for a while. And Selina's like, nuh-uh, dibs.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, Selina, come on.
Come on, I need it. Before we go any further, Ethan, the love interest of this movie, is played by the wonderful Hart Bachman, known as great piece of shit in Die Hard, Ellis, and director of PCU. I couldn't believe it was him.
Yeah.
He's so baby faced. Like,
I know, without that 80s beard. Yeah, his fun fact, he does show up in another DC installment later on. He shows up in Batman Mask of the Phantasm as the sleazy AD?
DA.
DA, sorry.
Yeah.
And then his dad, Lloyd Bachner, actually plays the mayor in the series.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I did not know that.
Yeah, went down that rabbit hole.
Selina has a reason to show up because, well, Nigel works at the school. So.
Oh, yeah, that's right. She was going to go talk shit to him or something.
Nigel, you're being a real dick today.
I wrote, what kind of idiot sells a tree like that? I was kind of enjoying the idea of a magical villain for the Superman family, for the Kryptonians. Just because if for those not in the know, magic is one of the few things that affects Kryptonians, because magic is an alteration of reality, which that's like one of those weird rules, like, you know, just because it fucks with everything, that it will fuck with the rules that a being lives in, right? It's magic, it's magic and it affects Superman, all right? They don't really talk about it that way in the movie. It's just kind of as is. That's just it. I wish they would have been like, oh, I wish they would have come to that realization. I'm like, oh, this actually fucks with Supergirl and Superman too.
That would have helped a lot because
it would have made Selina a more credible threat.
And would help with that power and dynamic that they both share and have.
Yeah, even though the plot still kind of veers a way you wouldn't expect. You're kind of expecting, not to get ahead of us, but you're kind of expecting a Luthor Superman thing where they're both diametrically opposed to each other because one is outright a dickhead and the other one is Superman. And you're assuming this would be the same, but it really does come down to petty grievances. As we're actually going to start getting into.
Selina really wants Ethan.
And it's like, girl, dream better. He's he's a groundskeeper.
To the point that she's like, I'm going to make a love potion in order to get him at my will. This was at this point in the movie. I wrote in my notes, I'm like, is this all going to revolve around a freaking, you ain't stealing my man plot? Because what the hell? No.
Well, and it is, but we're gonna get into how that goes. And it kind of cuts back to Kara just kind of learning how to be a human being. And it turns out she's surrounded by psychos. Do you remember the baseball game that they're playing?
Oh yes,
she's hanging out with Lucy, and then there's just these girls that don't like Lucy, and one of them tries to fucking hit her in the head straight on with the baseball, and Kara clocks it, and then takes the hit. And the ball I don't know if they're saying the ball was flying so hard it would have hurt Lucy a lot, or if Kara's so strong
because the ball just explodes.
It just becomes dust essentially.
But this is also around that same point where it's like, I think Kara God, I have a friend named Kara, so sorry. Kara it's like, what's her problem? And Lucy goes, oh, and just drops the R word.
Oh yeah.
I was like, whoa. I didn't know we were in Boston.
And then right after that, this feels, again, it's also another insane move, is that the girls are bathing. A little too much emphasis on the girls bathing because they are supposed to be teenagers.
Yes.
Which I get it. It's the mid-'80s. We're in the sleaze era. But there's something... Listen, guys. I just went through a 6-hour documentary series of 2 separate podcasts about how much of a piece of shit Jimmy Savile is. I don't trust British productions during this time at all.
Hell no.
So I don't trust the eyes of these adult men around these young women.
I really thought it was going to be like when they go into the women's locker room in 16 Candles, like, dude, I do not need to see this right now.
Yeah.
This is the last thing I need to see.
Barring all that shit. They show the other girls again. They're trying to turn the heater on all the way, which will cause 3rd-degree burns.
Oh yeah, no, they're
and the other girl calls her friend and she goes, isn't that gonna hurt a lot? She goes, screw her. And Kara, I do love this. It's a small thing. It's a small production thing. They show Kara picking up on it with her sound. And I love the little sound wave kind of I don't know, something about that just tickled, visually that just tickled my fancy. Of her being oh shit, something's about to happen.
It's a very comic book visual.
And it works though, because just do a little bit. You don't have to go too much. And it does a lot. And then she x-rays and she sees the girls and she heat rays the wrench through the x-ray vision. And then the girl burns her hand. And then she's humiliated and the other girls make fun of her. She's
absolute psychopaths of just being we're just going to burn these women alive. What's the worst that could happen? Bro, jail.
Yeah, what the fuck's wrong with you?
Don't worry. We'll just kill their parents next. I don't know if nothing works out.
It was what is it, Suspiria? What the fuck's going on?
Okay, I got it. So what we're going to do is we're going to have maggots in the ceiling and then they're going to fall on them. Then we're going to get our blind teacher and take them out into the middle of a court and kill them.
We're going to have his walking dog eat him. That'll teach him from being rude one time.
And everything we do is going to have really good lighting. It's going to look...
So red.
Beautiful.
And Italian. So we're finally getting to... This is the halfway point, right?
Right.
Oh, God, there's still so much left.
I know.
It is a long movie, guys. This movie is 2 hours long, which for the 80s is whew.
Because this is what's available to everyone now is the international cut. Apparently, it was cut down to 105 minutes when it came to the US because it premiered in the UK for a few months before it even came to the States. So the cut that we've watched is the one everyone else got.
I don't know. The other thing is I don't know what they would have cut in and how much more confusing it would have been.
Apparently, the whole dance ballet is gone.
Oh, of her enjoying her powers?
Yeah.
I know. I enjoyed that one a lot. I think that would have taken. I wouldn't have enjoyed the movie.
But that's
as
a
much.
small tangent.
So Jimmy Olsen, grown man, probably in his late 20s by now, dating 16-year-old Lucy Lane.
Disgusting, dude.
Listen, I'm going to say he's still a very young-looking man, but he is a man hanging out with his sister and her friends. That's what it looks like.
They look less like a couple, more like they're about to go to a theme park or something.
They got out of senior ditch day and he's picking them up.
It's very gross. I don't like it. I love me an age-appropriate relationship.
We're not going to see any of that here.
No.
The closest we get is
In
Selina.
1984?
We cut back to Selina, and she's making the love potion, like you said. And her friend is just riding on the little choo-choo train. Woo-hoo! Like,
it would have been cool if they like gave her a conductor hat. Selina, I'm just pulling up into town. You want anything? Choo-choo. Just riding into Midvale on a small train.
I guess because he's a groundskeeper, he's like available for service, and they called him up. It feels like an 80s porn scene where he's like, "What do you need me to fix?" And Faye Dunaway, like, letting that leg out. She's laying it thick, guys.
Dude, she's like
She brings out the Schlitz malt liquor.
She is ready to go. She already got her spider and a walnut. She is ready to get down and dirty.
Listen, honestly, if I was Ethan, I'd be like, well, fuck it. I don't know what his problem was. He was doing the responsible thing. I was like, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? She's laying it on thick. She's throwing it out for free. What are you doing?
What are you
doing?
doing?
It's Faye Dunaway.
That's right.
What are you, a moron? You are, though, because the way you saw a tree.
I would have been like, well, I've seen Bonnie and Clyde. She doesn't need magic for this.
She does not.
I already
You wouldn't need a magic potion.
We're pouring some drinks. Have us a nice night in.
A nice, cool Schlitz malt liquor.
Exactly.
To get the mood in.
Oh.
Nice, sexy Schlitz malt liquor.
That's how you know. Okay, so like the modern equivalent would be like what?
Basic ass beer that everyone knows about.
A beatbox. One of those beatboxes.
Yeah, it's definitely not. What's the cut one? Cut water. Selina like hypnotizes Ethan and then is like, I'm gonna go prepare the batch to get this dude into me. Cause she does lay it on thick. He's like, no thank you. He's like Hank Hill when he's trying to repair Mrs. Strickland's stuff. He's like, well, let me just fix it right here. She's like, let's get it on. Ball! She knocks him out, prepares the love potion, and then she's like, all right, the first woman that this man sees, he's going to fall madly in love with. But it needs to take effect. He stumbles out of the Hollywood horror, the Halloween Horror Nights maze, freaking the fuck out, stumbling drunk.
Love drunk.
I wrote at this point because Nigel had barged in and I think was talking shit to the ladies. And both of them were the pettiest bitches people. Like all three, like Nigel, Selina, I'm so sorry, I forget the friend's name.
Bianca.
Bianca are so, like, they are a 80s sitcom of like your best worst enemy. Like that would have been the title of their sitcom. You know what I mean?
It would have been on CBS. It would have lasted at least 2 seasons.
And it would have either been part of a spinoff or created a spinoff that was slightly more popular.
Bianca's business endeavors. Yeah. It would have killed. It would have been great. But it wouldn't have been a fall show nor a spring show. It'd be like mid-season.
I think I wrote at this point, I think this is intentionally camp. And then right after, I think that's when they set the bulldozer out to go get Ethan as he's like stumbling through the street. And I went, no, it's intentionally pretty campy.
And it's at that point when Ethan's stumbling into the beautiful center of Midvale. We catch Lucy and Jimmy having a nice date at Popeyes.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Which I found out, since this entire movie was filmed in Pinewood Studios in London, they built that working Popeyes. That is a working Popeyes for this movie. I just found that out. I was like, I'm very impressed because you could have convinced me that was an actual Popeyes location in the Midwest somewhere.
Yeah, like it has enough of that vibe of like, oh yeah, there's flat and then a mountain, like one mountain. Yeah, that could be anywhere.
You know, Kara's there because, you know, her Fitbit's going off.
Oh yeah, she has a bracelet on her to find the whatchamacallit, the omegahedron.
The omegahedron has a tile somewhere in it and it's ringing on her Fitbit. She's just like, wait a minute, I need to figure this out. But this is where, as you said, Selina possesses this like bulldozer to like track down Ethan so she can bring him back, terrorizing the whole town, and he's like stumbling. And this is when we get our first big damn hero moment.
Wait, before we get to that. So as Ethan's stumbling, Jimmy the pedophile is on his date with Lucy Lane. And I don't know why Lois hasn't beat his ass about this. Can we just talk about that? One of either a friend, like a work friend, or at least in the least a colleague dating her teen sister. But the funny line though is as Ethan's stumbling out, I think he's causing like a traffic commotion. Lucy and Jimmy come out of the Popeyes and she goes, "Look at that dingleberry." And like, it's like kind of nonchalantly causing all this chaos in the street. Like things are lazily happening. Like the gas station cable like kind of gets removed during the bulldozing.
A building kind of gets taken
Kind of
down.
like enough, like, but no one is panicking enough. Everyone's just kind of like,
"Oh no.
what's going on? Huh? What are we doing?"
Oh, this is like a mild annoyance in my day. This is nothing that really is
Yeah,
gonna
the
do any
four-way
damage.
intersection is being stopped for 5 minutes in this small fucking town.
Oh, I'll just go on a
This
detour.
small Illinois town. And then I think something sparks the fire. And then that's when our big disaster piece hits. The bulldozer scoops up Ethan. And then above the Popeyes flies in the daughter of tomorrow, Supergirl.
Love that chicken for Popeyes.
Strong enough to eat a Popeyes biscuit without a drink.
I was surprised they didn't even have a bucket or a drink in her hand. That's how much of a big intro of the freaking Popeyes and Supergirl introduction it was.
Literally, it is Supergirl flying over a Popeye.
She changes in the Popeye. She
It
flies out of the
undercuts
Popeye.
so much of the power that the super family could have. You know, like imagine if the new Superman, the James Gunn one, imagine he like his introduction was like coming out of a Starbucks. Like you just have been like, oh, okay. Dude had to get his pinkety drinkety, I guess.
That's
like,
right.
Oh, great.
Oh, Superman drinks a Trenta, the pink drink. Oh God.
And like the disaster happening, it doesn't have the grandeur of like Superman's first disaster and
no.
of like the helicopter flying and Lois flying out. It's kind of more like, well, this just required a traffic officer being like, everyone stop, hold on, I got a whistle.
It's gonna be good. Don't
Hold
worry.
on, you stop here, you go over there. Okay, you go around. Someone get some water on this little gas spill.
If someone can figure this out, and also if you're going to the Popeyes, you're going to want to park in the back, don't park in the front. The Popeyes will remain open while this disaster strikes. Don't even worry about it.
I will say though that the wire work during her like rescue is like impressive because again it's during the daytime. We're not seeing a lot. Like she is flying in pretty close. Lucy at one point jumps on to try to stop the machine and
quickly taken out.
The bulldozer like jerked lightly, like not even aggressively. Like it just kind of like it looks like it makes a turn to the right, and she goes, "Whoa!" And then she's like out.
I kid you not, I rewound it twice just to make sure I wasn't like dreaming it, and I cracked the fuck up. Like the first time I was like, that really happened, and then the second time I had to pause the damn movie because I was losing it, dude.
So there's a frame at some point after Kara saves Ethan, and the vehicle is leaving, and it says right above them, "Love that chicken," as she's holding Ethan. And then that's when our magic love potion starts kicking in, and the first person Ethan sees
is Linda.
Is Kara.
I honestly thought it was just going to be Supergirl, but
Is he? Oh yeah, because she changed into her civilian quote unquote disguise.
it's like, are you okay? Are you all right? I love you.
Again, a 16-year-old woman, like a girl. Faye Dunaway with the magic is able to at least see what had happened, and she's like, no.
I don't believe in the Romeo and Juliet laws. Don't let this happen.
And I wrote, dude, she's supposed to be a kid. You're the groundskeeper.
It's not a good look for anybody in that situation. Clark would have been pissed. Lois, you know how you let Jimmy date your teenage sister? Same thing's happening with my cousin. She just came into town. Have you heard of my cousin? Clark would have ended it real quick.
No, yeah, he would have punched that guy in the dick.
Oh yeah, 100.
It sucks because there is this cool framing device that they use, like literal, like a lighting effect that they use with Ethan staring at, I guess, Linda. The focus is like there's a
halo around.
There's a halo,
yeah.
and he's only focused on her. And again, it would be really cool, like to emphasize that. I don't mean to bewilder a point. She's a child.
Yes, freaking gross.
And it was at this point that I realized Ethan was going to be a big part of the movie. This is actually an hour into the movie. That was our hour in.
Which is also like the same amount of time it takes to see Superman's power in the first film.
Yeah, but there's so much buildup that it all still like everything in that movie is built into the next like to make the next sequence work, and then that sequence ends to build the next part over. This movie kind of meanders. We're kind of just like listlessly kind kind of getting to points, and some of them don't really matter as much as the movie wants you to think they do. Because again, her home planet is dying during all.
And it was around this point where I honestly was sitting there bored for most of it because I was like, we just gotta get to the end, guys. It's taking a long time.
Yeah, the second act is definitely like its weakest, and it's the longest part.
People in Argo City are like sweating. They're really relying on you, Kara. Hey, you think that Supergirl's ever gonna come back? I don't know, but the saran wrap's already melted, and I don't think I could take this anymore.
But yeah, our main villain's motivating factor is her loving the guy that she wanted to bone. Wants to get down with a 16-year-old, and that's our motivating factor.
And it pissed me off so much that was going to be our motivation.
It's not the socio-political narratives of like maybe Black Panther or even Civil War or anything more substantial, like just being evil, like in Lex Luthor in the original one. Real estate is more evil than this.
Exactly. It's just the plot of the Brandy Monica song, "The Boy Is Mine." That's what it boiled down to. And I was like, are they gonna start singing about how they both want this man? Or what's going on here? She's just pissed. I really did not like the movie.
No, it's definitely, but it is funny. I find it funny, and I think as a campy movie that's really funny, but I don't think that's what the movie was trying to sell it as.
And it sucks because I think Faye Dunaway knows what type of movie she's in and is having the most fun with it. I mean, we've seen that before with like Mommy Dearest, and I love seeing her whenever I can. Even Dustin checks in. The motivation was so weak, and it kind of made me disinterested.
Especially for where we get to at the end.
Right.
Like all of this is predicated on the fact that she just wants to bang that groundskeeper.
And it made me so disinterested as the movie went on. I'm like, seriously?
And you're kind of like, in retrospect, it kind of like makes you impressed of how good 1 and 2 are, in the respect that Lois is her own character. She is like a damsel in distress, but she kind of gets herself in those situations because that's who her character is. Rather than Ethan being the plot point and reasoning for both factors of the story.
It kind of makes you wonder too, like if Superman was still in this story, would Superman have been the Ethan role?
I think what I had read is it was similar to that. Like he was kind of held hostage.
Okay, because that would also help with what you just said about Kryptonians and magic. Clark is screwed because, well, he can't stand up to magic, and Selina's like all powerful. It probably would have made the movie better, but that's just armchair screenwriting at this point.
Yeah, because even then, the whole time she's like, she doesn't even know how to use her power well. She doesn't know how to use her power until like the 3rd act, and even then, it's for such petty things.
Because she's like affable throughout the whole movie.
Yeah,
when it comes to that, I love. There's one part where you might have it written down.
Wherever she are. Oh God, that's awful. That's never gonna work.
I think it does. I also like I think it was that spell or another thing, and Bianca's like, well, do it again, and she's like, I don't know how to. And I was cracking up so hard because it's like you inherited this power, but you just don't know what to do with it. You couldn't even like pretend to like Nigel to help you out.
It's like she uses him, but also like throws him away instantly. But there's like, is he as bad as her? There's no real focus. Like they have these characters that could be interesting, but for whatever reason, the writing doesn't want to focus on telling a cohesive like narrative story. Don't get me wrong, I'm still enjoying the performances, but I kind of credit that more to these actors than I do the script itself.
Because at this point now, she's not trying to stop Supergirl. She's trying to stop a random civilian.
She still doesn't even know Supergirl's like involved, really. She doesn't know that, like, she has no idea. She just thought a Supergirl showed up casually and left. Even though Nigel warned her like early on, like, hey, you should probably watch out. I'm guessing that thing you got is why Supergirl isn't around the area. And she goes, go fuck yourself, Nigel.
No. It's for me.
Yeah.
Why would she do it? Why would she even be here for that?
At some point, like, I think her power with the Omega Hadron starts manifesting more. She put it in a box. The box is starting to become a dragon, the kaiju that we'll eventually see. I think, like, it starts shaking. It destroys her home. The scare actors run out.
they were barely getting paid.
Yeah, no, it was.
They didn't even make it a full season.
Yeah. I do want to talk about kind of, I guess it's more European versus like American aspect of filmmaking or like focus. And we talked about this earlier, and I feel like this whole movie is talking about like why pedophilia is bad, because it is. Focus on young girls. These actresses are women, but they're playing young girls, like 16, 17, maybe 18. There's this weird like focus on it, especially with Kara being so childlike. Like there is something kind of nice about it at first when we're seeing her like explore her powers and like this fish out of water thing, but I feel like she doesn't have her own agency as a person compared to Clark. Clark as a character who felt very fish out of water because, you know, he felt like an outsider. He took it upon himself to become the person that would be Superman, while as Kara just kind of emerges as Supergirl. And like, I guess it is her choice, but like, because she goes into the pod, but like, it just, I don't feel like there's a real agency for her to do these things. She just knows her cousin is Superman, so therefore she's going to be Supergirl. Kind of takes away any real agency I would like to see with her. And like, I thought you would see her like develop that with the girls at the school, but it was just kind of more like hijinks.
It turns very much into just like a regular high school hijinks movie. There's no, and that's one thing that this movie that lacks in this movie is that development, that making Kara a character. And that really sucks because Helen Slater's terrific in this, like with what she's working with. And what she's working with is not very good to begin with. And to have to kind of work with that, it's tough. That's why like finding out that she like, you know, would go on to be on Smallville and go on to be in Supergirl show, like she was given a chance to be in the universe still and probably have more to work with. But it would have been cool to, as you said, have her be her own being.
Yeah, because Clark in the first two movies is definitely a person who wants things and likes things. He wants to have a normal life and be with Lois, but he knows Superman is a priority he has to put above himself. And you can tell he gets kind of annoyed by that sometimes.
And wanting to see the world through the eyes of her persona, Linda Lee. Like, how does she adapt to this world? How does she get into it? It's
just her though, because both people don't like Linda and Kara are like, they're the same person, but they just like, there is no dynamic shift in personality. There is no the slouch over or the picking up the glasses. There is no change in voice in like tenor. It's just Kara with the wig. That's kind of a weakness of the film. Of that film overall. We're still trying to get through this movie. At some point, Selina sends an invisible monster to try to eat Linda.
But that scene was something else. I was sitting there like, cool, we're about to see the monster. They put a lot of money into this. Let's go.
They gave that rock box a nice set of titties, all right?
I was like, okay, who's bringing up the rockin' set that's on this?
I was like, oh, Baphomet. We're invoking Baphomet in this fucking movie now.
Baphomet's looking really great right now. As the fight was going on, I was like, man, this would be really cool if I could see the actual thing. And it is good work of like practical effects, crushing the car, stomping through the town. That I love. Man, if you paid for the monster, show me the monster a little bit, man. Because it results in what? Supergirl punching air?
I think she gets grabbed, right? And it's just her pretending to be like, ah.
Like, like even if there was like a translucent effect, like how they did in Predator like years after this, I would like that a lot better. Kind of interpret like, you know, show me kind of the spirit of the monster at least. Show that it's not fully formed yet, but it is still a big threat.
There is like a small glimpse I remember catching, but I was like, fuck is that?
It's really quick because the only times you see it before it are, as we said, it's when Nigel shows what will become of Selina's power, and also when Supergirl electrocutes.
I forgot why I wrote this, but I wrote, everyone's kind of dumb in this movie, aren't they? I'm trying to remember why I wrote that. And right after, it was Selina trying to figure out how to deal with the magic rock, and she goes, but I'm not doing it. And I think that's when the rock started shaking.
Yes, and that's what leads to the invisible monster fight.
Oh, that's what leads to the invisible monster. Okay, yeah.
Because then they do that. She defeats the monster, and then beautiful idiot Ethan Hart Bachner appears once more. And is like, well, I still want to be with you, Linda.
Tis only but me, my love.
Oh my God, yeah. Speaking in Shakespearean love.
Yeah,
quotes.
every time he talks to her, he's trying to speak poetically, but he's too dumb. You can tell he's like, let me thou lest my heart sore for you. She's like, what?
You know, like the what light yonder window?
Break? I think he does try reverse Shakespeare on him. Because we're at the part now, I think, where they're at the bumper cars.
Yes, yes. The
He tries to sweep her off her feet. She's Supergirl, so she's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, and he's like,
and, and they get in that spin, like they're about to do it. They get in the spin ride, and Selina is like, what's this? Both of you are here. Well, what if I just spun this ride really fast, guys?
Whoa!
I was expecting a hurl effect. Not gonna lie, a little hurling would have been something after all that, because she spins them hella fast.
And then they land on an island or like on a beach somewhere.
That's after Ethan gets attacked by those bumper cars that are football players.
I almost forgot about that.
Yeah, no, I did not.
I didn't even write that in.
That dude got taken away in a LA in a.
Oh, you're right. Yes, because Selina busts out the Bruce Lee like thing.
They're fighting too, her and Supergirl, and she like manipulates herself. And I was cracking up. He was like, "Oh, there's multiples of me." I'm like,
and then Supergirl just flies out of the fucking situation.
Yeah, but it cracked me up too. I was like, if you have to fight her, it's the one that's highlighted the most.
Video game logic of like, no, clearly the one that's shining is the one that's...
Yes, exactly, yeah. Clearly it's that one.
I think she like surrounds her, right? And then Supergirl just like flies out of the circle.
She's like, I'm going to leave. I'm going to take this man with me in the St. Louis Rams at the time, I believe. Bumper car.
After they stole our team from us?
Exactly. Yeah, well, we had the Raiders at the time. Takes them to the island that you just mentioned. And that's when Ethan, still an idiot.
Still an idiot. Is like,
it's like, wait, you're super? Who is this?
No, he goes, wait, who are you? He's like, I don't even want to talk to you. And she goes, Ethan, it's me. I'm Linda. He's like, my love. And then the coconut flies out of nowhere and knocks his ass out. Faye Dunaway later on does her best evil queen impression from Sleeping Beauty.
Snow White.
White. Oh,
got you.
My bad.
But that's when like she's like, you know, I still need Ethan. If only there was someone that could help me with Nigel.
Here's this feather of crap. That'll do something. Why?
Wanda, I was like, ooh, I don't know about you, but that one looked kind of racist.
Oh, I forgot I wrote after the coconut hit his head. I was like, Kara, Ethan has a concussion. He needs to go to the hospital right now. But he is a pedophile, though. Oh, I forgot. She says, you got hit in the head by a coconut. Like, just so matter-of-factly.
So then they get taken back.
Well, Ethan gets snapped out of the area. And then Supergirl, like, flying over there is actually a pretty dope shot. Like, that's a pretty dope little scene right there. And then that's when we see more Baphomet imagery, which I didn't like. I would have never put that on my bingo of like that's in a super family movie. You know what I mean?
No one expects Baphomet in any of this crap.
No.
We're not watching Constantine. What is Baphomet doing here?
And then like the weirdest thing. So like Selina has gotten Ethan under her thrall or something like that. And then Selina just sends. Are we already at that part?
Oh, we are at this part.
So she just sends her to the fucking Phantom Zone.
She's like, and I sent her to the Phantom Zone. Me? How do you know about the Phantom Zone?
Like, and how did you do that?
Did we? Was a scene deleted? Was something
They made a big fucking hullabaloo in the first two movies that you needed a special thingamajiggy.
Yeah. Oh, Selina could just do it now. Does Nigel know about the Phantom Zone? Did he pick up a book of Kryptonian knowledge along the way? Like he went to
I did write. Still no explanation about Argo City or Kara's knowledge of Earth and Clark's history at this point. We are an hour and 35 minutes in. There's about 25 minutes left of the movie.
And this is like she gets taken to the Phantom Zone, and Selina's able to build Castle Grayskull off in the distance. She builds
Castle Grayskull, immediate fascist army. People just flock to her.
I remember writing, how much time has passed and is Argo City okay?
Right.
Hey, did you hear about where Supergirl's at? Yeah, she's been in like Illinois for a good while now. This lady's built a whole fascist regime. I can't believe all this has happened in the last 72 hours.
And then like Lucy and Jimmy, their thing is protesting, which
what?
Boo!
What has happened? What?
And she's only really she hasn't really taken over the town. She just has a parade through the town. If we're really looking at it, she hasn't gone to City Hall. She hasn't overthrown any elected official. She's just had a parade with her little cronies, and then that was it.
And then like Lucy's like, kick Selina out of town. We don't need Selina here. Yeah, we don't need her. Has a month passed? What's going on? What has happened to warrant the protest?
By the looks of it, though, Jimmy's still at the Popeyes when all this shit goes down. Because I think Lucy's like, there's a fucking castle on that out of nowhere. And he's like, what the fuck? Like,
Jimmy loves Popeyes. He is not leaving that place. He found out about that shrimp tackle box and was like, I'm good. This is what's happening right now.
We'll go back to those losers in a bit.
Yeah, because we need to focus on someone who is not a loser. Peter O'Toole coming back for his paycheck.
Okay, I will say, though, the way the Phantom Zone looked, I was like, yeah, that looks kind of cool. Like, yeah, being a barren wasteland of, like, toxicity, but being livable enough that you have to deal with it.
Hello, Kara. It's me, Zoltar. As you could tell...
It's me, the Lawrence of Arabia.
Yes, as you could tell, over here, shit's fucked.
Quickly, get out of the pit that Atreus' horse fell into, and I'll give you a swig of my moonshine.
It was so funny. Oh, watching that.
You want some squirt? Squirt. Here, have some squirt. You'll learn to love it. Like, oh, grapefruit soda. What the fuck?
Take a hit of this, Kara. You'll be able to see shit that will tone you white. Fresco, what the hell is this?
Not to call out my brother, but one time my brother was really sick. He had the runs, and he had like a bad fever. He was just sick in general. He had slept like pretty much a whole day after like eating food, and like he like knocked out like a whole day. And my mom had gotten him like some other stuff to make him feel better when he had woken up. So just put this by his bedstand, and when he wakes up, he'll know what to do. And I was like, he wakes up, he's like, I'm feeling better. It's like, okay, yeah, mom got you some stuff. There's this medication for that. There's this medication for this. And she got you that to make your like, so it's easier for you to drink. He's like, squirt? Just because I had diarrhea? And that's just what I always think about when I think about squirt.
In order to stop the squirt, you must drink the squirt.
Yeah. Oh, God. Well, don't mind if I do. But going back to it, I guess they like show... So they lock Lucy, Jimmy, and fucking Nigel up in cages. I think Nigel says something of
yeah,
again, talking crap to Selina. And again, I'm like, what life have you lived, Nigel?
Yeah, because Nigel's like, oh, good. The old put him in a cage and chain him up routine. Got it.
I was like, what fucking life have you lived, man?
Have you done this before?
Right?
Were you around during the Inquisition? You need to tell me what you've been up to, dude. You need to back up this information.
Lucy and Jimmy at this point say and do barely nothing.
They also see the same paycheck that's being waived.
It's in smaller increments, but they're like,
yeah.
I guess I gotta pay rent. For whatever like campiness and kind of like colorfulness I enjoy about this movie, I still think Peter O'Toole is too good to be in the movie.
Oh, 100%.
Because anytime he is in it, there's like a magnitude of respect that I now have that I have to give the screen while he is on it.
There's this air of gravitas that he brings to it, and then you're reminded, crap, I'm watching Supergirl.
It's so funny, though, how quick the turnaround is for Zoltar, because we don't know how long from him in the beginning of the movie being like, ah, shit, I gotta go in the fucking Phantom Zone, to the end of him being like, I've fucking been in the Phantom Zone, like drunk off his ass.
I've been here drinking my squirt.
There's no redemption or pace. You will never find anything. And Supergirl goes, oh, come on, we'll have you tried. He goes, actually, you know what? I haven't. He's like, you know what? Didn't think about that.
Pretty good idea, Kara. I wish I...
Actually, I have mapped out and navigated certain ways of getting out, but I never thought about getting out myself.
I was trying to figure out where the nearest Popeyes location I could venture off to.
I sure am craving delicious fried chicken, but not from Kentucky. Maybe somewhere else down south. Anyways, there's a fucking vortex that like will suck you into a piss.
The space tornado took me out.
That was like already existed, but Selina was like, but what if I aim it at them? Also, like, she's figured out, she somehow is like hip to the fact that they're on her. She's like, shit, they know.
It was at that point, I'm writing and like, I see them and the space tornado's happening. I was like, And just gonna count down the seconds before Zoltar decides to kill himself.
Like, yeah, you know he's either gonna like sacrifice himself in a noble way or get taken out in the last second, but say like, go on without me. And it's kind of both. I do love Selina with glasses, like at the bridge of her nose being like, so to summon the fireballs to shoot at them, I need to do this. I was like, what fucking book do you have? What the fuck is going on? And anyways, the fireballs come and they shoot at Kara and Zoltar. And Zoltar pushes her forward and like kind of gets hit along the way. He's like, you have the power within you. Or
You'll be doing good. I'll be beloved in Ratatouille.
And then the most super like House of L, Christopher Reeves she's ever been comes out ready to just square up. And I thought like, I was like, oh, that is the most evocative of that image we have seen this whole movie. Oh, and then like, wait, sorry. Rewind back to her like moving in with Lucy. She sees the poster of Clark in his Superman script. Yeah, and she, like that's like the most we get really of like dun, 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 dun. And I was like,
we bought this poster at a local mall.
I got this at a gas station actually. Also where I bought all the A&W stuff.
It was only costed me about $7.
$7 for 84? That's a ripoff. Anyways, Selina summons the devil to fight Supergirl.
There's like no way to sugarcoat it. A giant demon from hell.
Yeah, like he said kaiju, I said Baphomet. Let's go straight to the middle.
It's a cool big ass devil monster. Kind of look dumb, but also kind of cool.
It kind of fucked with it though. Like I was like, yeah, if it's gonna look ugly, might as well.
She now has like, you know, mind controlled Ethan to love her. She now sits atop Castle of Grayskull, ready to kick ass with the demon. And now here's Kara's about to also kick some ass with a demon.
I mean, summoning the devil to fight in the third act is a pretty legit move for a Supergirl movie.
Oh, if I'm an evil witch or warlock, 100%. Satan.
She, you know, they fight. The demon grabs her for a bit. She's kind of struggling. One last Zoltar inspirational quote gets her off her feet. Bear with me on this one.
This movie has seen Star Wars, yes.
She shrinks herself to fly around Selina because Nigel says the only way to defeat Selina is to have the monster attack her. Essentially, whatever. Supergirl gets tiny enough to fly past the two of them, makes a whirlwind that sucks up the demon and Selina. In the midst of all that, the demon grabs at Selina, and for the hell of it, Bianca, that's the friend, right?
Yeah.
Just
she did nothing.
Really a bystander to just a witness to brutality.
Bianca honestly should have lived. Like she had a redeeming arc. Being sassy.
She gets sucked up into it, and then they fly through the magic mirror that Selina's been using to kind of like watch whatever's not happening in front of her. And then that's it. That's how she's done.
Yeah, break the glass, that's it.
Everything reverts back to normal, like nothing happened. The fascists somehow disappear. No explanation. They're just magical. I don't know. They're gone. They're not here.
They're gone.
Everything's back to normal.
The mountain's gone too.
Still no explanation of how Kara's home works.
Nope.
She gets the MacGuffin, says, peace out, Ethan. It's been real. For some reason, the idea of Supergirl has to remain secret because Jimmy and Lucy say we won't talk about this. Like they say that, right?
Which is ridiculous because you're a photojournalist. You're going to want to report this back to the planet.
Yeah, that's your job as a journalist. Regardless of what the truth is, you're going to report the truth.
People in the town might have already reported it. Are you kidding me? You're by Chicago. You're near Chicago suburb.
She's flown through Chicago.
Yeah. WGN's already there. They got a truck. They're waiting.
She gets the MacGuffin, flies right back to the same lake she flew out of, and then they show her flying back to Argo City. Still no explanation.
We don't get to see Argo City get saved. We don't get to see any of that.
We don't see why it's restored, how it works. We see nothing. We see fucking jack shit.
Yeah. Oh, it's really hot here in Argo City. A protective saran wrap's not working. Oh, hey, Kara's back, guys! Kara's back! Oh my God, thank God!
Oh, we've already enacted the purge like apocalypse that we were waiting for as we were all gonna have our last breaths.
We already like shot half our kids halfway to different parts of the galaxy.
I did the fucking mist thing, man. I took out my whole family. I took out everyone I love. What the fuck are you talking about? She just came back.
Oh, I'm going to the Phantom Zone.
I'm about to go visit Peter O'Toole.
Hello, more company I see. Finally. I'm not so lonely
Squirt?
anymore.
And then the movie just ends.
The credits are some of the worst way to deliver a credits, because it's like, it's on the bottom in like also kind of the glass thing, but it's just zooming to you. They're not scrolling up. They're coming at you. And I'm just sitting there like, I don't like any of this. And you see Argo City glistening in the back.
Yeah, that's the movie.
That's the movie. What a movie is all I'm going to say. This is the reason why after this movie came out, the rights went to Canon because of how much this bombed at the box office.
Which is like so messed up because Superman 3 is way worse.
Yeah, Superman 3 is a slog to get through.
It's such a bad movie.
And it's not fun. Actually, no. I don't think we're ever going to cover it.
It's funny because going to that, the reason why we say that is the new Superman was about to come out 2024, right? 2025?
2025, last year.
You were like, oh, I'm going to rewatch 1 and 2. Have you seen the other ones? I was like, yes, don't do it. And you're like, interesting, why? And I kind of told you the reasons. And you're like, okay. And then like a day later, you're like, so I watched Superman 3. And I was like, oh, God.
It really is just one of the most boring movies I've seen ever. But I remember you after you had watched, or you were watching it, and you texted me, you're like, it's already better than Superman 3. And I read it and I was like, yeah, if I had to choose between Supergirl or Superman 3, I will gladly choose Supergirl. I didn't like it, but I will watch Supergirl over Superman 3.
There are parts of Supergirl that I like. Helen Slater is like really great. So this is a double-edged sword. I think she brings like an innocence and a playfulness to the character that I think is like really well done to establish her. I feel like it's not used correctly, and I think there's too much emphasis, as this whole episode is about. I swear they're not all going to be like this, hopefully. The emphasis on like young girls with adult men. Like, unfortunately, that's where that went. And I don't care really for the decade, whether or not it was in the decade. It wasn't right then. It still isn't right now. And it takes away so much agency from her. Even her love interest doesn't fall in love with her naturally, even though he's like older than her too. It's just like nothing. She doesn't earn anything on her own, unfortunately. Like she doesn't really work to become Supergirl. She just becomes Supergirl. She doesn't even go through like that trauma of loss that like Superman went through, of like, even with all your powers, you still can't save everybody. So do the best you can. It's just, she just is, and now you got to deal with it. And like, I guess the campiness, I know you weren't a fan of the campiness. I enjoyed it. I guess that's the best to take away from a movie that is meandering and doesn't have a lot going on. There could have been an interesting story with like a competent villain who, like, in the vein of Luthor, wants to take over the world, but is going through it through like, instead of the scientific means, is the magic means, which would have been like a cool dichotomy of like outsmarting your villain rather than overpowering him, which like Superman is able to do, which we're used to. So like there is that kind of bummer about it. I think the cast is stacked. Peter O'Toole obviously is in it. Mia Farrow was in it for a bit. I wish we had more Mia Farrow with that. There is a lot left to be desired. But in the legacy of the Super family, it's not the worst film. And I feel like people talk about this movie that way when I don't think it's that at all.
Would you recommend this?
Yeah, I don't, like, I guess let's do that arbitrary ranking of like classic Superman movies. It's definitely one, the Donner Cut. If we're doing like the classics, it's this, the Donner Cut, and then probably Superman 4 Quest for Peace, and then probably like Supergirl under it. In the pantheon of the Superman family movies, probably not even that realm. I think I like Man of Steel more because it says a little more things. Probably still above fucking Batman v Superman though. I think I would, just so you have an idea of like where we've come from with the character storytelling wise. Because originally she was a marketing tool to get girls to read comics, like the same way Lois Lane had her own comics. You know, like girls wanted to see themselves be the superhero, so Supergirl was made. And I think she was just as important. I think she is just as important in that regard of people being able to look at someone else like do good and like be powerful without sacrificing their like joy or innocence. You know, it's not like, she's definitely the opposite of the grim, dark, edgy stuff that we've kind of been prevalent for the last 30 years. I'm interested in like how this Supergirl will go, because, you know, she's definitely like, our new Supergirl is definitely going to have like, character-wise, she'll probably have her like issues that she's going to work through, and we'll see her become kind of that same beacon of hope that her cousin is as well, because that's usually what like the comics are, is that she, like the L family of the Superman family, are all people who try their best kind of type thing. But she's gone through so many variations and iterations, kind of like hard to put a pin on what a definitive Supergirl is like. I feel like we're just coming into that now in the modern storytelling. I think it was like Tom King's story that a lot of the Supergirl is based off. Women of Tomorrow is based off of the for the new Supergirl. 80s Supergirl kind of, I think, was like fading away. Like she dies in like Infinite Crisis, like I think in 86, you know, and that's like a big pivotal moment. We don't see her again for like a few years. And when we do, I think it's like an energy being. It's all this weird stuff. A lot of weird stuff on that. I would check it out just to see how far the characters come. What about you?
For me, I think this is going into it blind was interesting. I didn't expect any of the magic to be involved. You can see what it's trying to do. It's trying to capture the same energy of the first Superman film, kind of go in with the same whimsy and wonder. It doesn't really get there, which is disappointing. Like I said, Helen Slater should have been given much more to work with. I do really like Faye Dunaway's performance. I wasn't one, you are correct, I was not one for the cap. I thought it could be overbearing at times. And yeah, I found it kind of just never, kind of always spinning its wheels and never really getting to somewhere.
That second act is so much of it and so long.
Yeah.
Like from her getting to the school to the reveal is like so much.
It's just ponderous at that point, to the point I was like checking my watch honestly as it kept going. I'm like, we need to like wrap this up. I have nowhere to go, but like I feel like I have somewhere to go now. Felt like it could have been stronger if it went with a different motivation. I really hate that it's a dude that has to lead the whole thing to pull it together. I can definitely see what you said about her not having her agency and really gross older girls relationship that is mad gross, and I don't like it at all. I'm with you. I don't give a fuck that it was 1984. Shit's gross. As I said on my letterbox, I'm glad Peter Toole got Paycheck. And I think it's a really good curiosity piece just to see how this compares to not only the other Superman films at the time, but kind of other films of like other female, like women-led superhero films, like how far we've come in that aspect. And when this new one comes out, you know, having that nice comparison between the latest adaptation of this work and what came before it. I don't know. I would recommend it just to scope it out, just to check it and see, and maybe you'll enjoy it. Maybe you'll appreciate the cap, or maybe you'll call us fools for us ever telling you, yeah, go check it out. But if you do want to go check it out, this is currently streaming on HBO Max. All the Superman movies are currently. I would definitely rank this below Quest for Peace, but that's because I thought Quest for Peace is a fun, so bad it's good movie. And yeah, no, go on it, go scope this out. And and you know what, rent it. Hey, find it at a library even. go check it out. And yeah, I think that does it for us here. I guess we share socials at this point, dude. Where can I find you, Patrick?
I am on Threads and Blue Sky under Pacha the Great.
And you can find me at Serge Berrueta on Instagram, on TikTok. You can also find sergeberrueta.tv. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at MFE Pod. That is where we are putting all our beautiful stuff. That does it for us. I am hoping that Supergirl did turn out good. But Patrick, what's the next movie that we're doing?
Our next movie is in keeping with our upcoming Christopher Nolan fantasy epic, The Odyssey. And then that means we're going to watch Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Heck yes. One of my favorite Coen Brothers movies ever.
An American folklore take on The Odyssey, directed by the Coen brothers.
I am severely disappointed that the Nolan film does not have any sick bluegrass in it so far.
They turned him into a horny toad.
I love this movie. I just watched this movie like not that long ago. So.
I love this. Is one of my favorite movies of all time, in general.
So yeah, no, stay tuned for that. We'll see you. You'll hear from us in about 2 weeks on our thoughts on the beloved Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? And we'll probably still have not watched The Odyssey by then because we can't get tickets. One day we'll see the IMAX 70mm. We'll get to that point. Anyway, thank you. I've been Sergio Berrueta.
Patrick Raissi.
We'll see you on the next reel. Take it easy.
Bye.